Hey everybody, Sports Gaming Rosters here again. I got another NBA mock draft for you guys. Check out the channel. I released this entire draft class yesterday. Please check it out if you have 2K22 on the PS5. I worked really hard on it and I think it's a really good class. So please check that out. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'm going to be a little quiet here. I had dental surgery the other day, so I can't scream and be my usual super excited internet Twitch going crazy weirdo self. So just a nice laid back mock draft for you guys. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, I ran a lottery simulation like I always do on the website tankathon.com. All right, now let's get into it. Pick one, the Thunder. Select Jabari Smith, power forward from Auburn. I've had Chet Holmgren as my top guy for a while now, but that's changed. Jabari Smith is just everything you look for in a new age NBA power forward. Run the floor, handle the ball, can really shoot it, range well past three-point line, very efficient scorer, good defender. I mean, basically the complete package. Reminds me a lot of Chris Bosh once he started shooting some threes with Miami. The Thunder would really luck out here. I really like all the top three guys. Smith, Holmgren, Banchero. They're all good players. They're all completely different prospects. But right now I got to have Jabari Smith as my number one. And the Thunder would love to pick up a guy like that. They don't really have much in the front court. And he would just be a great piece to build around. So pick one, the Thunder select Jabari Smith from Auburn. All right, with the second pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Paolo Banchero, power forward from Duke. I got Banchero in front of Chet Holmgren for now. I watched some more tape on Holmgren, including when he went up against Victor W of France. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I'm not doing my 2023 draft class yet, so I'll worry about that later. But Holmgren just got annihilated. I really worry about him on the defensive end, holding his own. He's already 20 years old, so he's a year older than these other two. I mean, he does a lot of things well, but I just think Banchero is probably the better bet right now. His offense is fantastic. There's really nothing he cannot do with the ball in his hands. Spurs don't have a guy like that on the roster, not even close. 6'10", 250 pounds, can run the floor, shoot threes, handle the ball. Just another one of those guys, power forward size, but guard skills. I think he's tailor-made for the NBA. He's going to come right in and drop 15 to 20 points a game. Spurs really need somebody like that in the front court. They don't really have much to speak of. They got a lot of decent guards, but no real big men who can create their own offense. So I think this is a good pick for the Spurs. With the second pick, they select Paolo Banchero from Duke. With the third pick, the Houston Rockets select Chet Holmgren, power forward from Gonzaga. I may not be quite as high on Holmgren right now as I am the other two, but that doesn't mean he's not a great prospect in his own right. Any three of these guys would have been the first pick if they were available last year. It's just a good class and a good three power forwards to choose from. So if you land in the top three of this draft, you're doing pretty good for yourself. We know about his skills. Yet another guy who can run like a guard, who can handle the rock. These big men, they're just so talented these days and so well-rounded. Holmgren's knock on him is his size, of course, and he can get bullied quite a bit down low, but he can block shots, he can shoot, he can hang out on the perimeter. Even though he's number 3 in this mock, he's a top talent in his own right. This is just a good class of power forwards. I'm really excited to see how these three progress in the NBA. They're totally different guys, and it's exciting. NBA is in good hands. There's a lot of talent. So with pick 3, the Rockets select Chet Holmgren, Gonzaga. With pick 4, the Detroit Pistons select Jaden Ivey, shooting guard from Purdue. The Yeah, so the Pistons missed out on the big three. I think after those big men, you got a few good guards. Jaden Ivey has been my top guard in this class, but guys like Benedict Mathurin and Johnny Davis, they're breathing right down his neck. So it's a fierce competition for tier 2 guards after those 3 power forwards. I still like Ivey. He's tough, another good ball handler, can really get to the rock, a good shooter. Killian Hayes is not the answer in Detroit. Cade Cunningham, I think, definitely is. He's really stepping up. Cunningham, Ivey backcourt will be a lot of fun to watch. 2 big, strong guys. So if the Pistons can't be lucky enough to land one of the big 3, I think Ivey's a good consolation prize. So pick 4, Detroit selects Jaden Ivey from Purdue. With pick 5, the Orlando Magic select Benedict Mathurin, wing player from Arizona. So the pathetic Magic fall all the way to number 5 in this lottery. Seems like that happens to them every single year. They just miss out on that top talent, collecting a bunch of decent guys, but nobody truly amazing, except for maybe Franz Wagner, but they could really use the top 3 pick, maybe more than any other team in the NBA, but here they fall to 5. So luckily for Magic fans, this is just a mock draft and it's not the real thing. Benedict Mathurin is shot up the draft boards. Arizona has a really good team, and he is just pouring in the points, shooting threes, taking it to the hole. Another guy who can handle the rock as a wing player. He's just really stepped up. Good defender. That 3-and-D guy who's more than just a 3-point shooter. He's a true scorer. One of those classic wing players who can just get their own buckets. Very athletic. He's really, really come along as a sophomore, and I think he's a definite top 10 pick. So the Magic with pick 5 select Benedict Mathurin, Arizona. With the 6th pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select Johnny Davis, shooting guard from Wisconsin. Davis started in the 20s for me, and just every mock it seems he's crept up higher and higher and higher, and now boom, pick 6. The guy is just a stud on offense. He is killing it. 37 points against Purdue in a huge win. His 3-point percentage is dropping a little bit, but he's just taking a ton of shots, and he's really carrying this Wisconsin team right now. So put him in NBA offense with actual legit NBA players around him, and I think he's a killer scorer in the NBA level, lethal shooter. Tougher than you give him credit for, but you're really getting a guy who can just shoot, and that goes a long way in the NBA, especially the Pelicans were really struggling to generate much offense. I think he would be a good fit. So with pick 6, the Pelicans select Johnny Davis from Wisconsin. All right, with pick 7, the Indiana Pacers select Ty Washington Jr., point guard from Kentucky. So my tier 1 is the 3 power forwards. My tier 2 right now is probably the 3 shooting guards I just mentioned. Tier 3 is composed of mostly freshmen who have had up and down seasons. I don't think Washington has had a down season at all. He's extremely productive and steady for a good Kentucky team. He's coming off a 17-point, 17-assist game against Georgia. I mean, the guy's, he's not an athletic freak, but I feel comfortable putting him at number 7, which is definitely the highest I've had him this year, but I think he leads tier 3 at the moment. The Pacers, who knows how they're going to look. They're a team that really needs to tear down and rebuild. So best player available for them. Washington, good size, takes great care of the ball, assists, finds the open man. He's leading a veteran-laden Kentucky offense really well. And I think he's got potential to be a very good starting point guard in this league. So pick 7, Indiana selects Ty Washington Jr. from Kentucky. With the 8th pick, the Sacramento Kings select Kendall Brown, small forward from Baylor. Brown plays for the best team in college basketball, the defending champs. Baylor, they have a ton of talent. They have a ton of veteran leadership. Brown, he's basically just chilling, scoring 11 points a game, shooting 70% from the field. He hasn't done much the past 3 games. 4 points, 2 points, 9 points. But I mean, Baylor, they just keep winning, and Brown's just a part of that. I think if he was on a team that featured more freshmen, he'd be putting up bigger numbers. But those shooting percentages are fantastic, and this tier is full of guys with question marks. I like Brown. I think he may never be an all-star, but solid, good length, good defender, and a good shooter. Could take over that Harrison Barnes role for the Kings, who always seem to be rebuilding and retooling and not quite knowing where they want to go. So Kendall Brown goes to the Kings with pick 8. With pick 9, the Portland Trailblazers select Patrick Baldwin Jr., small forward, Milwaukee. Ew. He's coming off a 2-point performance in 11 minutes. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it's been other than a couple good games, it's been a real struggle for Baldwin. Milwaukee, playing for his father. To have a guy this good and be 5-11, I don't really know what to think about that. He struggled big time. I'm sure defenses are just collapsing on this guy nonstop. He probably regrets his decision to not go to Duke and hang out and shoot some threes and put up good numbers. But I think this is a type of guy who just needs to survive this 1 year in college, get through it, and I think once he gets to the NBA, he'll be a much better player. He's got good size and he's a good shooter. Good release. I think he can put up some big-time points in the NBA. He just needs to get there, and he needs to show that he can do that consistently. Portland, they're picking a 9 here, but who knows? They're facing a definite crossroads for the organization. Damian Lillard, who knows? So keep Lillard, trade him. Baldwin, he's got good size, and he can come in and be a spot-up shooter and a playmaker for the Trailblazers. So pick 9, Portland selects Patrick Baldwin Jr. from Milwaukee. With the 10th pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Jalen Duren, center from Memphis. To put it kindly, the Hawks are a mess. Miserable defensive team. You got to surround Trae Young with guys who can play defense because he is not a defender. You got Clint Capella up front. You got Okongwu backing him up. John Collins isn't terrible. I don't know what's going on with that team, but they're a mess right now. Atlanta's always a team who just drafts the best young player available. They already have Okongwu as backup, like I said, but Duren's probably the best guy available for them, and he's a good defender. He's not much of an offensive player, which is why he fell to number 10, but he's got good size, very athletic, a very good shot blocker and rebounder, and he can definitely be a starting center. So if they choose to kind of do like a mini retool, not really rebuild, but retool and move on from Capella, I think Duren would be a good replacement. He's got a lot to work on offensively. He may never be more than a putback guy, but he can run the floor and he can play defense, and I don't think he'll fall out of the lottery because he's very good at what he does. So the Hawks with pick 10 select Jalen Duren from Memphis. With the 11th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder, this pick from the Clippers, selects Keegan Murray, power forward from Iowa. Murray is killing it. Probably the front runner for college basketball player of the year. He is just a machine on offense. He's putting up NBA scoring numbers, to be honest with you. His past 5 games, 35 points, 20 points, 29 points, 35 points, 27 points. Shoots it from deep, handles the ball. He's blocked 9 shots the past 3 games. I mean, his sophomore season he's basically been Luka Garza. Just, okay, I got your numbers. I'm going to pick it up from here and get that hardware. Not the most athletic, not the strongest, which is why he's at pick 11, but I mean, I can't ignore those numbers. They're just fantastic. Makes you wonder why he only played 18 minutes a game as a freshman, but he's just doing it all, and there's no way that a guy like this falls out of the lottery. Thunder fans have to be excited if this mock comes to fruition, you get Jabari Smith, you get Keegan Murray to build around in the front court to go along with Giddy and Gilgeous-Alexander and Dort in the backcourt. That's something to really get excited about. So pick 11, the Thunder select Keegan Murray, power forward, Iowa. With pick 12, the New York Knicks select Jaden Hardy, shooting guard, playing for the G League Ignite. Safe to say his experience in the G League has been pretty disappointing. It's hard to judge these guys playing for this league. Everybody's like playing for their draft status and trying to get buckets and trying to impress scouts and this and that, and it's hard to really play in a team atmosphere and be unselfish when you're trying to work for that draft stock. You know what I mean? The shooting percentages just aren't there. The thing that I do like, though, is very high free throw percentage and good steals, and that kind of stuff is what you look for. That kind of translates to the NBA when you can get into a system and you have some structure around you and you're not just playing with a bunch of other guys who are trying to be picked higher than you. He still leads the team in scoring, 17 points per game, which shows his potential. He could definitely be picked higher than this, and I think he'll be a decent pro, but I have trouble putting him higher than this at the moment with so many good prospects ahead of him. But pick 12, the Knicks. After 1 year of not being the Knicks, they're back to being the Knicks again. They have a lot of old guys in the backcourt. They can use some youth and explosiveness like Hardy, even if he's a bench player to start out with. I still think he's a future starter and a good scorer. He can get that efficiency under control. So pick 12, the Knicks select Jaden Hardy from the G League. With the 13th pick, the Boston Celtics select A.J. Griffin, small forward from Duke. Griffin started off the season really slowly. He wasn't playing many minutes at all. They've kind of eased him into the rotation, but he gets about 20 minutes per game now, putting up some very good numbers. If you're a per 36 fan, in limited minutes, he's got 7 points per game, shooting 53% from the field, 44% from three-point land, coming off 3 straight double-digit scoring efforts. If he wasn't on a team that featured Wendell Moore and Banchero and Trevor Keels and a lot of other guys, he would be putting up bigger numbers, I think. But he's playing for Duke. He's playing for great coaching. He's got the talent, got the bloodlines. I think as far as, project guys, he's definitely worth a pick in the late lottery right here. Boston, they're kind of a mess right now. Jason Tatum, Brown, who knows what they're going to do. This is just the best player available, best talent available situation right here. So Boston selects A.J. Griffin from Duke. With the 14th pick, the Washington Wizards select Kennedy Chandler, point guard from Tennessee. Wizards started off the season on fire, really surprising everybody, but they've kind of come down since then. Still basically Bradley Beal and a bunch of young players. Pardon me. Kennedy Chandler, if he had more size, I think he'd be a higher pick, but I really like this guy. Can handle the ball, good assist-to-turnover ratio, steals, good defender, very quick, a good enough scorer to keep defenses honest. I think he can definitely be one of those mid-tier starting point guards. They have Spencer Dinwiddie right now, but I don't think he's a super long-term option. Even if he is, they need a backup, a smart, steady backup. And I really like Chandler. Not athletic enough, not big enough and strong enough to really be one of those Ja Morant type point guards that so many teams have these days, but he's very good, and I think he's going to be a good player in the NBA. Sorry for that super expert analysis. Sometimes words don't come to me. He's a very good guy. All right. Pick 14, the Wizards select Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee. With the 15th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Nikola Jovic, power forward from Serbia. Good offensive potential, very good size, great three-point shooting stroke. You're not going to get any type of defense whatsoever from him, but he might one day try to be a decent defender. We used to say the same thing about Nikola Jokic, and he's become a pretty good defender himself. Jovic, I think, the Timberwolves are finally on the right track. They got some good offensive players. Towns and Edwards, that might be the best inside-outside duo in the NBA. One of the top few for sure. So Jovic, good size, can come in, shoot some threes, and maybe hold down the power forward position if he can gain some strength and learn to play a little bit of defense. Definite project, but pick 15, good value. So the Timberwolves go with Nikola Jovic from Serbia. Pick 16, the Memphis Grizzlies. This pick is from the Lakers. First of 3 first-round picks for the Grizzlies. They go with Dyson Daniels, guard, playing in the G League from Australia. Daniels is 31 minutes a game. He's shooting pretty well. Not the best three-point shooter right now, but leads the Ignite in assists per game, 3rd in rebounds. So he's one of those, not really a point forward type, but I think I know it's lazy to compare guys from the same region, but I think he can be what scouts thought Dante Exum was going to be. A nice combo guard, can score enough, and is a very solid defender. The Grizzlies have 3 first-round picks and one of the better teams in the NBA right now, so to add a young talent like this would be a good pick. They're great at developing young players, and I think Daniels has strong potential to be a point guard, shooting guard, defender type. So Grizzlies select Dyson Daniels with pick 16. With pick 17, the Denver Nuggets select Walker Kessler, power forward center from Auburn. Kessler is a pretty new addition to my mock. After a 16-point, 10 rebound, 11 block performance against LSU, it's kind of hard to ignore him. Those are some tremendous numbers. He's might be the best shot blocker in college basketball. He's developing as a scorer, potential to knock down some three-pointers, more athletic than you would expect from a guy his size. Definite project for sure, which is why he's picked this low, but for a team like the Nuggets who's so good at developing young players, they could use more size off the bench. They just traded Bol after not really using him much. Kessler, great potential. People forget that he was a pretty high recruit who just didn't play much in North Carolina before transferring. But yeah, that shot blocking ability and a good shooting touch will definitely land him in, I say, the teens or the early 20s. So the Nuggets with pick 17 select Walker Kessler from Auburn. With pick 18, Charlotte Hornets select Harrison Ingram, small forward from Stanford. Probably the closest thing to a Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, point forward. He's not the most exciting player to look at. He's not going to win any body of the year contest, but the guy just gets it done. He's got good size, definite ball handler, can control the offense, a good scorer. Just one of those fun players who just doesn't look like he's going to do much, but there you go. He drops 15 points and 5 assists before you even realize it. The Hornets might lose Bridges in the offseason. Even if not, they could use more playmaking ability off the bench, like any team. So pick 18, the Hornets select Harrison Ingram from Stanford. With the 19th pick, the Toronto Raptors select Gene Montero from the Dominican Republic. They seem to have soured on Malachi Flynn as their backup point guard. Montero, definite project, but has some really, talented scoring ability. I think he'll be one of those microwave guys off the bench who comes in and kind of like an old Leandro Barbosa, just comes in and gets some buckets for you for 15-20 minutes a game with the potential to develop into a starter if things click. The Raptors are back to being a good team, and they have a lot of good players. I think he'll be a good fit backing up Fred VanVleet and company. If they can develop him, he's definitely got potential, but he could also fizzle out very easily. But at pick 19, that's a solid choice here. So the Raptors go with Gene Montero from the Dominican Republic. With the With the 20th pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Max Christie, shooting guard from Michigan State. Christie is the only new player in my mock this time around. The efficiency is not quite there yet. He did have a really nice 21-point game against Nebraska, and he's trending upward scoring-wise for sure. Still shooting less than 40% from the floor, but the other, supporting stats are good. Good shooter, good at the free throw line. I don't think he does much more right now than score, but hey, pick 20. If you can find a guy who can give you 15 points per game and knock down a few threes per game, especially playing with Luka Doncic, you could do much worse. So Dallas with pick 20 selects Max Christie from Michigan State. With the 21st pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Ochai Agbaji, shooting guard from Kansas. The only senior I have a first-round grade on, or really anything close to a first-round grade. Agbaji's just improved every year, and now is a 20-point-per-game scorer, shooting 53% from the field and 47% from three-point land. He'll give the Cavaliers, who have a great three-headed monster, Garland, Mobley, and Jared Allen, give him some size and some shooting ability off the bench. Lots of experience, obviously, a good defender. I think he's the type of player that you could plug into a playoff team and give, 15 minutes or so a game, and he's not going to hurt you. Cavaliers finally are in position to draft some role players here in the mid to late first round. Good for them. I really love their potential. I hope they don't screw it up. So the Cavaliers go with Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. Second pick, the Philadelphia 76ers select Terry Eason, power forward from LSU. Eason's really exploded onto the scene as a sophomore after being a pretty good bit player as a freshman. LSU's got a really good team. They're rolling. Just beat Kentucky and Tennessee back-to-back. He had a 24-point, 12-rebound, 2-block game against Tennessee, and has really just been one of the better players in college basketball. I think has definitely worked his way into the first round and can continue to rise if he shows that shot blocking ability, can shoot the three a little bit here and there. Just a really good all-around power forward, and someone I think that can develop into a mid-range starter. The 76ers, they're just looking for bench guys, especially front court guys. They don't really have too much on the roster right now with Ben Simmons not playing and Tobias Harris. They're looking to move him because, Daryl Morey is insane. But that's not the point of this video. The point is to talk about these draft prospects, and Terry Eason's a good one. 76ers go with him with pick 22. With the 23rd pick, the Milwaukee Bucks select Wendell Moore Jr., wing player from Duke. Like I've said in my other mocks, this is a guy who was a high recruit, didn't have a great freshman season, could have just declared and lived off that reputation, but instead this is his third year at Duke, and he's really blossomed into a fantastic player. Good defender, great ball handler, rebounder, shooter. I mean, he's doing it all for Duke. Duke's loaded, and he's the veteran leader of that team, and a perfect 3-and-D type for a playoff team like the Bucks to add to that bench. So good for Wendell Moore Jr. for working on his game, and I think he's a solid first-round pick at this point. And he goes to the Milwaukee Bucks with pick 23. With the 24th pick, the Houston Rockets, this pick is from Miami, selects Marjon Beauchamp, wing player who's playing for the Ignite G League. Probably, other than Scoot Henderson, he's probably the best player on the Ignite squad. Not much of a shooter, but can really get to the basket. A good rebounder, steals, can handle the rock. Think of him as like a super homeless man's DeMar DeRozan. I know DeRozan's an MVP type player this year, but not a great shooter, but slasher, good player, and I think he can develop into a solid pro. He's worked really hard to be kind of a nobody to be in a definite first-round pick with his play in the G League this year. Rockets have multiple first-round picks, and for some reason I seem to mock Beauchamp to Houston every single time. I like to fit. So with pick 24, Houston selects Marjon Beauchamp from the G League. With the 25th pick, the Miami Heat, this pick is from Brooklyn, selects Caleb Houston, small forward from Michigan. Michigan's been a pretty miserable team this year, and Caleb Houston's had a rough go of things. He's shown flashes like a 12.8 rebound performance against Rutgers, but Michigan's losing a lot of games. They're having trouble, and Houston, his efficiency is just not there right now. The talent still is. He was thought of as a potential top 5 pick coming into the season, and he's playing 30 minutes a game, so I think those two factors he'll declare after the year. We see guys like him every year who don't quite live up to the hype, but they still get the minutes and they still declare for the draft. And some team in the 20s takes him, like a Nasir Little type. This far into the first round, the Miami Heat, who are better at developing undrafted players than most clubs are at developing first-round prospects, this would be a good spot for him to sit there and learn from some great players and kind of hopefully develop into a rotation guy. So Miami Heat, pick 25, Caleb Houston from Michigan. With the 26th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Yanexosa, big man from Congo. He got some early top 10 buzz when this draft cycle first kicked off. A gigantic prospect, not really doing much for his overseas team right now. I can't put him that high. The track record for guys like him, unfortunately, are not great, but he's got tremendous length, amazing shot blocking ability, rebounder, can run the floor, that type of player. I think the Grizzlies, who have 3 first-round picks and this late in the first round, can afford to draft a guy like him and develop him, leave him overseas for a year or two perhaps, and maybe reap the benefits down the line. So this is a good spot for him. I think this is about as high as he goes. So yeah, the Grizzlies, pick 26, Yanexosa, Congo. With the 27th pick, the Grizzlies, this one is from Utah, selects Mark Williams, center from Duke. Obviously playing for a team, like I said earlier, who has Banchero, Wendell Moore, Trevor Keels, and all these offensive players on the team. He's not gonna be a big factor on offense, but you gotta love the hustle. You gotta love the shot blocking. He's not just a stiff. He can really run the floor, and he can score when called upon. I think he's got the potential to be a starting center in the NBA. One of those guys who does the dirty work and blocks shots and rebounds. Very good athlete. If he was on another team, I think he'd be a bigger focal point. Obviously not a three-point shooter, not a scorer, but this late in the first round, you're just trying to draft rotation guys, and I think Williams can definitely be that with the potential to be a starter one day. So pick 27, the Grizzlies select Mark Williams from Duke. With pick 28, the Chicago Bulls select Christian Koloko, center from Arizona. A deep bench player the first 2 years of his season, or first 2 years of his career for Arizona. He's really exploded as a junior. Shot blocking, good defender, can really run the floor, great length, good rebounder. Coming off a 22-point, 10-rebound, 4-block game against Washington. Still, even as a junior, he's still a pretty big project, which is why he's this low. You wonder if he's a one-year wonder, but he's from Cameroon and probably is still picking up the game this low in the first round. And for a team like the Bulls, who could use some youth and some length in the front court, this is a very good spot for him. I like his potential. So pick 28, Bulls, Christian Koloko from Arizona. But pick 29, Oklahoma City Thunder. This pick is from the Suns. Go with Roko Perkasine, power forward, Croatia. So the Thunder, after building their backcourt in the 2021 draft, come out of this first round with power forwards Jabari Smith, Keegan Murray, and now Perkasine to go with Jeremiah Robinson Earl. That's and Poku. I'm not going to try to pronounce his full name right now. The skinny dude, big man. That's a lot of talent. That's a lot of different types of players. I think Perkasine's kind of maxed out with what he is at this point, which is why he's picked this low. But good stretch four. Can also bang down low and grab some rebounds when need be. Thunder fans will probably be reminded of Mike Muscala, who's probably the best big man right now for the Thunder, which says a lot. But 3 first-round picks, the Thunder really have a chance to add to the roster, as we know they have like 7 million picks coming up in the next few years. And Jabari Smith, Keegan Murray, Roko Perkasine, that'd be exciting trio to come out of the 2022 draft with. All right. And with the 30th pick, the Golden State Warriors select Armando Bacot, big man from North Carolina. Kind of like a Wendell Moore. He was a former top recruit who really didn't do much as a freshman. Junior season, though, he's really put it all together. Double-double machine. He's got double-doubles every game. And this last one against Virginia, 29 points and 21 rebounds. That's pretty impressive stuff. Not a three-point shooter. Not really a great shot blocker, but a double-double monster. And the type of guy you can add to the bench. And he'll be a solid backup center. Might even be better than James Wiseman, who knows. Warriors are one of those teams that like to draft players and develop them as cheap bench guys to go with their highly paid stars. And I think this is a good final selection in the first round. So the Warriors go with Armando Bacot from North Carolina. All right, that's all I got this week for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry I'm not expressing excitedly mouth surgery and all that good stuff, but hey, I'm here talking for 48 minutes before pre-editing, and I appreciate you guys checking this video out. If anybody reaches the end, congratulations and thanks. Please like, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and definitely check out the draft class I just dropped. All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you.